What's up, everybody? Hope you guys had a good trading week this week. I know I did. It's only Wednesday. I'm just crushing it. I've had a couple days well, 2 days where I haven't lost a trade. So that's been fantastic. And if you haven't seen me for the past couple of days, it depends on how many videos have been uploaded to this channel. I've been horribly sick. Really, for the past 8 weeks, I've been taking a lot of medicine, COVID, the flu, and now I have a sinus infection. And so I'm still not out of the woodwork, so just a lot of head pressure. But nevertheless, I have been trading, and I've been posting in the Discord channel for people that haven't seen it. We can jump to the Discord channel so you can see earlier this week I had a $1,200 day. If we look at today, 100% win rate, but it's like $600 on this account. And this is the same account as the $1,200 day. So pretty decent. And I just want to give a big shout out before we kind of jump into the charts here of like people that are just crushing it. And that's $8,000 in payouts last week, right? Just like people just crushing it over and over again. And again, just people posting not just their P&Ls, but also posting their payouts. And, I've also noticed that a lot of people in here are posting their P&Ls. But if you look right here at this PA account on the bottom, you can see this person's already eligible for another payout. So it's really cool seeing people scalp, seeing people get these payouts, and very excited for most people. But what I wanted to go over is kind of just my trades. For this week, especially today. Most of my trades were in this section here today, only for about an hour on that account. And I'm taking these Qgrid scalps. Now, I'm getting typically better entries than if you were to wait for this indicator to go off. And the reason why is because I'm using this in combination with all 8 of these charts, right? And specifically the 1 minute here. On the 1 minute, I'm using the Qgrid to tell me which way to potentially take my scalps, right? But if we go down to the 8:30 open, right? I'm looking for those to trade those pullbacks, right? That are on the Qgrid. Now, a lot of times those pullbacks happen, right, off this 21 moving average. A lot of times you can see this whole section here, and you can even see this one here. But a lot of times it happens on this 21 moving average. Now, typically when I'm scalping like this, I typically have very tight stops. Now, if you're taking these down here, right? Off the 50 moving averages, those are valid as well, right? But taking these scalps off the 21 moving average and then having your stop be the 50 right here, that's a decent trade. Right here though, it's like, if I'm making that 21 average my where I want to try to take the scalp, right? My stop is going to be really tight on this trade. More or less because I don't want to hold it if it comes down to the 50 here. That is, a 10-point move. I just don't want to hold through a 10-point move if I don't have to, right? And so that's kind of the idea. And this gets into like, if these start to open up and you think that potentially we go back to this 50, this is where, using something like Qgrid, right, will help you. Cause that's like, when we come up and we push back down right here, right, you wait till we get a little bit of confluence of a push, and then you can take the signal. And then, you can capitalize on, maybe 10, 20 points, right? And so that's the idea of scalping the Qgrid and how to utilize it in combination with just the 1 minute chart. Now, again, I use all my charts together, and I did a video about today's trading and kind of the overall market over on my channel. I'm still looking at the higher time frames to know when to scalp and when to keep me out, right? And the thing that I can point out though from this morning, right, going into this is the close of yesterday. We are so bullish all through London session, right? There is no way that I am looking to take shorts upon open, right? And so open is right here. I'm not looking to take a short here. Why would I take a short here? There's only two reasons why I would take a short here. Would be it's if I'm trying to play the R1, like play it down to R1, play it down to VWAP, or play it down to the 830 open. But these moves early on can be so quick and so violent that even if you're right about the move, you might have not great execution on your orders, and it's just not worth the risk a lot of times to try to go against a trend like this, right? And the other thing I will point out from this morning, and I've gone over this a lot, this is my 5-minute chart with Smart Money Concepts, right? By QuantVue. But if we scroll in here, you can see this is the 830 box that I've been talking about. I'm going to make this into a free indicator. See if I can't like make like I might get with Anthony and make like just have the 830 candle auto plot on a on an NQ chart, because this happens a lot, especially when the market is in a big trend. Right, off market open, we dipped right into that 8:30 a.m. candle, which is this orange box right here, right? And we dip right into it, and we have this perfect move out of it. This bigger box is the 15-minute opening range, right? So when we came back down and we had a little bit of a bounce here, we had that right off of the 15-minute opening range. And you can see it's also just helpful when you have Smart Money Concepts, when you see like order blocks being formed at all these levels as we push higher, right? Very, very bullish looking. There's nothing about this that looks bearish whatsoever today. But yeah, kind of getting into this zone up here, right? Once we get into really this zone here, right? This is where we're hitting quarterly VWAP on ES and SPX. So this area right here is what I would say was the most iffy area of the day. Like if we were going to reject off of any level, it would have been that level right there, just because of where it correlates on the ES and SPX chart from today. But that's really it. I mean, using the Qgrid by QuantVue, right? This indicator has been phenomenal, and we have people that are just trading using this right now, just constantly just crushing it, right? Now it doesn't work great in like certain chop, right? And there are certain chop areas where you don't want to use this, or certain places that I wouldn't use this. And one of the things that I just pointed out on the 15-minute chart and reading how we're going into the day, how bullish we are during London session, would have filtered out these trades right here. Those trades from this morning were no good. Like, there was no reason to try to short against this strong of a push up this morning, right? And so if you were kind of looking at the 15-minute chart, I don't think these would have been any valid trades. And so hopefully people didn't get too chopped up. But even if you took some of these, like if you took like this one right here, right? This one was kind of validated, like you would have actually probably made a little bit of money off of this one, and this one you would have made a little bit of money off of. These other two here you wouldn't have. These other two, maybe this first one you could have made a little bit of money potentially, or at least got out for break even relatively easily. This one probably not. But again, this goes into reading the market, knowing when to stay out of a position that Qgrid might give you, but that, the overall market's telling you that no, probably not, right? And just kind of some other ideas too. It's like, I mean, just because we're kind of rolling here, right? We did eventually push higher. Again, it's like we're getting into order block territory. And that's hard to read. There are some nice trades though today. I made a whole video about this, about us coming down to VWAP, having this nice bounce off the stacked imbalances. But overall, again, if you can just look at Qgrid and just see like, hey, overall, if you take majority of these signals, right, with the same risk to reward every single trade, most of these signals end up working out heavily in your favor. If you can combine this with Smart Money Concepts on the 5-minute and Smart Money Concepts on the 15 minutes, know where the pivot points are, know where the potential points of rejection are, know the overall market trend to filter out some of the bad trades and using Qgrid, you can make so much money with this indicator. So that's it for this video. Make sure you guys like, subscribe to our channel if you guys haven't already, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.